Robert J says, James 1:5. How broad is the promise for wisdom? Does the context limit it to certain trials? What a great question. What a great question. All right, let's go and pull up James 1:5. And I believe I probably know it by heart, but I don't even want to assume. That's a great question. I think, but let me make sure. Yes, you gave me permission to answer what I think. I think God is the wellspring of all knowledge and wisdom. So James 1:5, and I'll just jump to that verse. It says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith. This is verse 6, without doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord, for he's a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. So again, you asked me, Robert, what is my opinion on it? What do I see? I don't see any qualifiers for the wisdom. It doesn't say if anyone lacks financial planning wisdom. It doesn't say if anyone lacks wisdom on how to do their taxes or how to select a mate. It just says if they lack wisdom. So I believe that since God is a wellspring of all knowledge, all truth, then we can come to God for all things. On the same note, however, if we want God to give me the winning lottery numbers for next week, though God knows all things, that's not something he's required to give me because, of course, it violates some other principles as well. So I do think we have to be wise in that respect. And then even in that, we have to be mindful, like, are we going to be leaning on that wisdom? Like, for example, if you ask God for wisdom to help you with a particular trial and issue going on, are you going to lean on that, or will you always be coming back to the God of that wisdom, aka God? So I believe we can ask God for anything, any kind of wisdom, from who to marry to how to handle a business transaction, how to raise our kids, so on and so forth. However, I don't think we should expect, we can't mandate it, one, and we can't expect that we'll always get it, because I think at the end of the day, we know that God ultimately wants us to come back to him. And if we're relying on, trusting in, and leaning on our own wisdom, or what we think is our own wisdom, because we're like, oh man, I came up with this great idea about how to make this wonderful product. I can do it again. I think that's where we fall into trouble. So I don't see fires there. I believe we should come to God for everything, but know that it's his prerogative, what he gives us. And ultimately, we come back to him, not leaning on our own wisdom. I hope that made sense.